students. You have seen some techniques to improve your crop production, like adding manures and fertilizers using organic farming methods, or following the techniques of hybridization. Along with that, some more important techniques are there, like cropping patterns and crop rotations. And finally, we see how to manage and protect the produced crop. Maunika is back to make our business more qualitative, quantitative, and active. Let's thoroughly focus on irrigation, sources of water, cropping patterns, crop rotation, and crop protection management concepts. I am ready. Are you all ready? Let's start with learning objectives. Learning objective. We are going to focus on irrigation and its sources, cropping patterns, crop rotation, crop protection management. Keywords: irrigation, watering the crops at regular intervals. Mixed cropping, growing two or more varieties of crops in the same field. Intercropping, two or more crops sown simultaneously on the same field in a definite pattern. Crop rotation, the system of growing different kinds of crops in recurrent succession on the same land. Weeds, undesirable plants grow along with the main crop and compete for light, space, and nutrients. Pests, chemicals that kill pests. Herbicides, chemicals that kill weeds. Insecticides, chemicals that kill insects. Fungicides, chemicals that kill fungus. Concept map. Watering plant is main task for any farmer. You would be seeing that all farmers wait for rain after transplantation. So, let us see what are the sources of irrigation. Irrigation. Success of crops in most areas is dependent on timely monsoons and sufficient rainfall. Water resources. Wells, dug wells, water collected from water-bearing strata. Tube wells, water collected from deeper strata. Canals, receive water from rivers, or one or more reservoirs and divide into many distributary canals and reach the fields. If canal flow is inadequate or insufficient due to inadequate reservoir release, then a river lift system is used. What is this river lift irrigation system? Water is directly drawn from the rivers for supplementing irrigation in the areas close to rivers. Tanks. Small storage reservoirs which intercept and store the runoff of small catchment areas. So, coming to fresh initiatives to increase the water level is rainwater harvesting, build small check dams which increase the groundwater level. Watershed management. Check dams to stop rainwater from flowing away and reduce soil erosion. Let us go to another technique. The reason for selecting this is nutrient requirements are different for two different crops. Prevents spreading of pests and diseases, which means one plant disease cannot spread to other plants. Both the crops give better yields at a time. Interesting to know. What is the technique? Cropping pattern and crop rotation. Let's see in detail. Cropping pattern. Mixed cropping. Growing any two crops simultaneously on the same field reduces the risk and gives some insurance against failure of one of the crops. Example, wheat plus gram, wheat plus mustard, groundnut plus sunflower, red gram in haldi, cabbage in groundnut. Intercropping. Two or more crops sown simultaneously on the same field in a definite pattern. For example, soya bean plus maize, bajra, finger millet plus cowpea, lobia. Wow, very nice. There is one more interesting technique, crop rotation. Growing different crops on a piece of land. In a pre-plant succession is known as crop rotation. Crop rotation is done for different crops based on duration, availability of moisture and irrigation facilities. Decide the choice of crop to be cultivated after one harvest. Extra 2/3 productivity can be seen using this method. Example, 3 months plus crops, next 3 months vegetables or fodder crops, etc. Yes, also it is very important to protect and manage the produced crops. Crop protection management. Why do we need to protect crops? Generally, crops are infected by a large number of weeds, insects, pests and diseases. Weeds, unwanted plants in the cultivated fields are called as weeds. Example, Xanthium, Gokru. Control, using weedicides or picking out manually insects and pests. Generally attack crops and reduce yield. This is in 3 ways. They cut the stem, leaf and root. They suck the cell sap from various parts of the plant. They bore into stems and fruits. Control, use of pesticides like herbicides, insecticides, fungicides. Preventive methods. Proper seedbed preparation. It is an important step that can optimize seed germination and survival rate. Timely sowing of crop. Following methods like intercropping, crop rotation, mixed cropping and use of seeds of resistant varieties. Precaution. Excess use of chemicals leads to environmental pollution. Natural pest controlling methods. Generally, farmers use synthetic pyrethroids like pesticides, insecticides to control pests on crops. Some insects control harmful insects and they are called friendly insects. Example, spiders, dragonfly, Chrysola myrrhets, ladybird beetle, etc. are the insects that eat larvae of desicids, thrips and stem borers. Some fungi like Trichoderma species and some bacteria like Bacillus thuringiensis are capable of destroying pests like stem borers in tobacco, etc. Some mixed crops also control some pests and diseases. After paddy, cultivating black gram, groundnut, etc. prevents tongue virus disease on paddy. After cotton, cultivating maize and gingerly prevent gram caterpillar. After red gram, cultivating maize and corn prevents spotted bollworm and dry disease. These are called as Akarshika Pantalu in Telangana state. And one more is storage of grains. While production is very high, we need to take proper control measures like strict cleaning of produce before storage, proper drying of the product, first in sunlight, then shade, and then in fumigation using chemicals that kill pests. Factors affecting crop storage: biotic, insect, rodents, fungi, mites, and bacteria. Abiotic, inappropriate moisture and temperature in a place of storage. Cause: all the causes lead to poor marketability, degradation in quality, loss in weight, poor germinability, discoloration of produce. Control: treating the seed properly before used. Systematic management of warehouses. Wow, gained so much knowledge, right? Do not stop watching the next video, Animal Husbandry, which will be more interesting. Before that, let us recall. Home assignment.